Hey guys, so welcome to my channel once again. This is People Arm, and we are always here to help you grow your career in different fields in technology. And any tips you want, you always find it on this channel. My name once again is Oladiamons. I'm called The Strategist, and I'm here to take you on a journey. And it's going to be a series of videos that you'll be seeing in subsequent edition that you will always love. It is going to help you take your career to the next level. Guess what? If you are new in tech, or you're just trying to pivot your career into tech, or you're already in technology and you want to learn about business analysis, this is the only guide that you need. And you need this guide to take you from where you are currently to where you want to be. I've gotten several questions from several people in my years of coaching career, and people always ask that question. I wish I get a guide where I get to learn about what I need to do to get a job in business analysis, or what do I need to know about business analysis as a career. Guess what? Sit back, relax. On this page, there's going to be a lot of videos on this playlist that's going to help you from zero ground up to becoming the sought after business analysis. I'm not bringing this to you because I just want to show you something. I'm bringing it to you because it's going to change your life, it's going to change your career. Just in the last 7 days, there have been more than 4 people that I've coached who have bagged the certification of high BA, the CBA, just in few months of being in our coaching space of People Arm. So stay back, relax as we go into this session on the beginner's guide. This is going to be the 7 steps to landing a business analysis job in 2023, and this is version 1. You're going to be seeing subsequent version. We'll be talking about different topics on this particular area. So let's start right away. Right, I'm sure you want to know about BA, you want to understand this, and you don't want to miss any part of this video at all. Do you know what I need from you? Number 1, I need your concentration. Number 2, I need your pen. Number 3, I need your notepad. And number 4, I just need you to get a space, relax, enjoy. And you know what you do for me? Do me a favor. See a button there? Subscribe to this channel. And you see that bell? Hit that bell, because there's going to be many videos in this series that's going to be helping you from ground up to the next level. Once again, this is brought to you by People Arm. You can go to our website, www.peoplearm.io. You're going to see a lot of things there. We have a BA class running in the next few weeks, and you don't want to miss it. It's going to be running on a monthly basis, but there is one that is running this particular month. You don't want to miss it. Go to our page, subscribe right away, and get enrolled into this. Now, I just want to go straight into this. So, guess what? The reality is today that it is a complex world. The world is so complex right now compared to what we used to have in 20 years ago, 30 years ago, 40 years ago. The world currently is extremely very complex, and things are changing very fast. Before you get to know it, like this is what you used to know 1 more year ago. Right now, things have changed completely. That is why we call it now a VUCA world. Things are volatile, things are very uncertain, things are complex, things are big deals. And let me just explain that to you. What do you mean by things being volatile? Things being volatile means that things are changing at a very fast rate. So which means the rate of change of things per time is now on the highest level in the history of mankind. So which means that if you try to use a tool 6 months ago, by the time you go back to check the same tool right now, you will realize that it's looking almost like it will be becoming very obsolete. Second thing is that things are getting uncertain. Uncertain means that my level of predicting the next level in terms of an outcome, that probability of getting it right is extremely very low now. For example, 3 years ago, COVID came on all of us. Nobody saw it coming. Nobody ever thought about it. But because, guess what? It happened to all of us. COVID happened. And guess what? The whole world has to make a change to adjust into that. Let me give an example. Hey, hi. Before we got to it late last year, last quarter of last year, we saw ChatGPT taking over the whole world and changing the name of the game entirely in the AI industry. So these are the things that make the world very uncertain. What is the third one? Complexity. Now, complexity in this case means that the number of inputs I need now to make a decision is now extremely getting more complex. For example, I need to check the political factor are changing. There are many wars happening all over the places. Imagine I'm into shipping businesses, I'm into e-commerce businesses. which means you need to do a lot of work to be able to consider the input of political forces. There are legal forces, there are economic forces, and there are socio-economic forces in terms of the taste of the people. There are Gen Z, several generations today that now have different tastes in terms of what they want and how they want to be served. Because of it, the world is now getting more complex. And you'll understand why this is very important into you understanding business analysis. The last part is that the world is now extremely very ambiguous. Ambiguous means there are many known unknown, because there are always the four quadrants. There's a quadrant of the known known, there's a quadrant of the known unknown, there's a quadrant of the unknown known, there's last quadrant of the unknown unknown. Today, a lot of things are finding their way into the unknown known and also into the unknown unknown. How do we make a decision when everything looks very ambitious? You see, this is why this is important. This today is the reality of the common world. And because of that, guess what happened? Companies have several needs. There are several needs by several companies, and I'll be giving many examples to that. Companies are trying to find a way to identify opportunities. They're finding a way to optimize their processes. Imagine a company is trying to get into a new market. Maybe Google, maybe Apple, maybe Microsoft, maybe Dell. They're trying to get into the market. Maybe a startup business, right? Maybe a startup business is trying to set up maybe in Germany. They're trying to set up a business, for example, maybe in UK, in US, a new business. Maybe a restaurant is trying to move from one location to another, identifying new opportunities. Second one is optimizing processes. For example, maybe my supply chain businesses, maybe my customer used to click 7 buttons before they place an order. Maybe today, maybe before now, you could see Amazon doing an example of that. Now we now have the same day delivery. That is optimization of the existing processes. They're finding a way to drive revenue growth. Who does not want to make money? Sincerely, who does not want to make money? Companies are finding ways to make money. They're finding a way to increase their profit margin. They're finding a way to attract more customers. How do we attract customers? And guess what? How do you attract customers when you don't understand the customers? You see, these are the several needs of businesses today. And the other one here is management of risk. There are several risks today. For example, I'm trying to ship from one country to another. There are risks in transportation. There are risks in custom duties. There are risks in the taste of the people. You are trying to move something from one region to another. There are risks with religious bias. Will these people take it or not? There are always risks, right, in terms of making choices. For example, a company is trying to acquire another company. A company is trying to split into other companies. A company is moving entirely into a new sector. Maybe, for example, maybe they're in cloud computing. They're trying to now go into e-commerce. There are several companies like that today. So they're trying to see there are risks involved in all these processes, right? How do they go about this? Now, the needs still continues. Companies are finding a way to improve their customer experience. For example, I'm sure you have a banking app. And your bank app today, when you take your phone, your mobile phone, and you take it, you're trying to do a transaction on your phone, there are things you desire that your bank actually have on the app. Maybe it's account statement printing. Maybe it's just getting your account statement directly into your email. It could be several things. Maybe you can use your account to do some other stuff out there. There are always endless lists of things that you want to do on your banking app. For example, maybe you're out there and what you love is a dating app. Maybe you're looking for things like security on your dating app, right? Because of that, you're finding a way to ensure that how do we improve this customer experience with our users? And the next one is an executive complex project. You can imagine the railway project, an airport upgrade. Those are extremely complex projects. There are like software as a service solutions, enterprise resource planning solutions, complex products, right? Complex products, complex platform. Companies are trying to execute that. Maybe they're trying to design a new software as an example. And the last part of this is companies are finding ways to engage and retain their employees. How do I get my employees? How do I attract new employees? How do I retain my existing one? How do I get the best out of my employees? This becomes a lot of needs from this company. What do you realize? What you realize is this, and this is the truth. The list of the company needs, this list is endless. You can see that. The list is endless. For example, I only mentioned like few of them here. when you go to each company has several needs. And this is the reason why I'm bringing this to you. This is the reason why becomes important to you, for you to understand the job of a BA, because I go out there and people ask me questions, tons of questions. We get these emails every other day in terms of, what does a BA do? I don't know what a BA really does on a daily basis, right? And this is why this is very important to you, right? And guess what? The summary of all this is this. Companies are trying to define data because data is everything. Companies are trying to collect data, right? They define the data they want to collect. Companies are trying to collect this data. Companies are finding a way to analyze the data. You define the data, you collect this data, you analyze this data. Let me give you an example of an e-commerce site. Maybe, for example, like maybe an eBay or maybe an Amazon. They are finding a way to collect data, right, in terms of the buying patterns of customers, trying to understand where the customer buy things from. Maybe customer from a particular location buy a particular kind of a thing. How do they collect this data, right? That becomes a question. And the next point here is, how do they analyze this data, right? How do they want to analyze this data? That now comes to play, right, in this case. And why do companies want to do all this? The reason is just for one thing: to understand the trends, to understand the insights, to understand what are the patterns that customers actually go through. What is the customer journey? What are the customers' behavior when they come to use our platform? These are the reasons why companies do all these things. Guess what? Companies make two major decisions. There are two of them that the companies actually make today. Two major decisions. There is this project decisions that companies make, and companies make decisions that are operational. For example, a company wants to execute a particular kind of project. It could be they are trying to develop a new software. It could be they are trying to relocate their employees from one location to another location. It could be companies trying to find a way. Maybe they're trying to upgrade their current software. Maybe a company is trying to find a way to bring all their software together and make them an enterprise kind of a platform. Maybe a company is trying to migrate their platform from one part of application to another kind of application. There are several projects the company wants to get done. The second part is that companies try to find a way to execute operations. Operation means existing work, business as usual, things that we do every day to get our job done. It could be we are trying to do a payroll. It could be we are trying to raise an expense. It could be we are trying to pay salaries of employees. It could be we are trying to issue an invoice. Those are part of business as usual for businesses. Now, if you consider these two things that business do, I'm trying to give you an overarching need of businesses. You can find them in either of these two categories. There's no other category that you find. The investment is part of project, right? You're trying to do an investment, an initiative is still part of project work. Now, what happened for project is that for project, it's always a discussion of the competing demand with scope, with time, with budget, and how do I satisfy my stakeholders? How do I make sure my stakeholders are happy? And stakeholders in this case is not just only the sponsor. It could be government, it could be users, it could be consumers, it could be buyer, it could be union, it could be employees, it could be anyone, it could be regulators. So stakeholders here are many. The list of stakeholders are many. There are those people that are affected and those people that are interested, or those people that fund the project, right? And those are people that you find there. There's always competing demands among all these. Stakeholders want this, but it comes at a cost, right? The sponsor wants this scope in the work, but it's going to affect the timing of delivery of that. So there are always competing demand among all these things. The next one here is for operation. What happened to operations? There's always an issue with operational efficiency. Companies are finding ways to improve their operations. They're finding ways to improve their efficiency. That's what companies are trying to do. They're finding a way to improve operation. They're finding a way to improve efficiency. Operation means that we are finding a way to improve efficiency in terms of, are we doing things right, which is effectiveness, and I'm trying to do right things. Those are the efficiency and effectiveness in this case. Companies are trying to do that because, are we doing the right thing? And if we are doing the right thing, the answer is yes. The next question is that, are we doing the right thing right? Are we doing the right thing in the right way? And that is always a challenge between efficiency and effectiveness. Those are the things that come under those two categories. Now, what's the good news here? This is where the story begins. This is why this is very interesting. But before I go further, please take note of one thing. Please click this bell. I'm sure you're enjoying yourself. Click that bell and click that subscribe button, right? Because this is a lot of stuff for you, and I'm sure you're enjoying yourself. And this is the good news. The good news here is that at the heart of all this is business analyst. You see, everything I've mentioned, everything I've talked about, right? Who is the engine, the heart that pumps blood into all this for a business is business analyst. And you will also get to know more. Like as you watch this more, you get to know more about this. Like I said, you know what I like to do? We like to bring this to you in the simplest form possible to let you understand business as simple as ABC. No fluffs, nothing complex, something as very simple as ABC. Now, this is the heart of it. BA is the heart of it, and this is cool, right? This feels cool. So if you're watching this video right now, it means you're interested in BA as a career. It means you really want to explore this journey of becoming a BA, and you are actually on the right path because you find BA in every kind of business, and it feels so cool. Now, listen, when you find BAs across board, you realize that BAs are found across several industries. And you remember from what you will see in subsequent minutes that I'll be talking about this, you realize that you find BA across several sectors, right, in the industry today. So let's talk about finance sector. In finance sector, you find a BA role doing different things. You find BA as financial data analyst, find BAs as risk analyst, investment analyst, compliance analyst, financial system analyst. And what do they do? Right? Financial data analyst as a BA, they're responsible for gathering, they analyze, they interpret financial data, and they try to provide insight and recommendation, right, for the business to be able to make right decisions. That's what you do as a financial data analyst. As risk analyst, as the name implies, you try to find a way to assess and mitigate financial risk in the sector. For example, you work for a business. Business is trying to invest somewhere else. You want to assess the risk. You want to find a way to mitigate the risk, and that's what you do as a risk analyst. Investment analyst is I'm trying to invest in a business. How do I know whether the returns on that particular business make sense or not? And how do I protect myself to ensure that every shareholder or investor in that particular business, they are making right decisions? Compliance, yeah? You want to be sure that people are doing the right things, right? The right approvals are given to the right people. There are good governance structures in place versus the industry standard. And the last part are people that we call the financial system analysts. They are the people that work to find a way to look for inefficiency in the system. How do we upgrade this system? Let me give an example to that. Maybe you have an expense system where employees use to retire their expense and be able to get money back from the business, maybe when they go on a business travel as an example. Yeah? Maybe today this system is not good enough. A financial system analyst always find a way to work on those systems to find a way of improving them. So let's move on financial sector, because you might think, oh, okay, so BA work only in financial sector? Nah, there are many sectors that BA work in. So let's move to the next sector, in marketing. This is where the money is. So a BA, for example, work as market research analyst. A BA works as digital marketing analyst. A BA works as consumer behavior analyst. BA works as pricing analyst. And the last part, a BA works as a marketing performance analyst. And these are the roles that a BA does, right, in a marketing sector. Maybe you have a role in marketing as a department, as a function. These are the role you do. And as a market research analyst, what do? You want to understand market trends. For example, and for a digital marketing analyst, maybe a user comes to my page and a user buys a particular thing at a particular time in the season. And when I look at the trend and I look at what my user like on my page, I am able to understand the kind of product that has a prospect of selling. That is the job of a market analyst. For example, you want to look at what people are searching for. Are they searching for a kind of product? Are they searching for a kind of course? Are they searching for a kind of service? And how do they want their service to be delivered to them? You want to know this. This was exactly what Amazon, as an example, did with the same day delivery, because many people have urgency. Emergency do happen. Right? In our life, emergency do happen. So they find a way for you to place an order and get that order the same day. Consumer behavior. How do we understand consumer? Maybe by geography, maybe by demography. For example, maybe during Christmas period, maybe people at a particular age, they buy a particular kind of product than others. What does this do for us? It helps us in marketing. We can target marketing at those kind of demography because trends have shown that this is what they buy at this particular period. So that is not all. Let's look at BA in healthcare. We know health is life today, right? BA works in healthcare, and that is the interesting. BA works in healthcare. They works in healthcare in different areas. They work in healthcare to analyze data. They work in healthcare to improve their system. They work in healthcare to analyze financial data as a compliance analyst. And the last part, which is extremely important, is BA works as business intelligence analyst in the health sector. What are the things that they do? As data analysts in the health sector, a BA trying to find a way to analyze healthcare data to see at what point, as a case study, maybe an hospital, as an example, maybe a clinic, an hospital, maybe a GP is trying to understand the pattern of my patient. Now, when you look at the data of the visit to an hospital over time, a GP can begin, or an hospital can begin to know how many patients come per time, what is their age, what is their ethnic group. Now, which ethnic group has some kind of illnesses? You begin to map them, of course, keeping confidentiality, right? In terms of, now, for example, this time of the year, do we have a particular visit? Do we have children visiting more during winter? Do we have more adults visiting during summer? You want to see the trend. What does this trend do? This trend helps you to plan your staffing for a particular period of time. For example, if I have children coming, then I plan my pediatrics to be available during that period, right? These are the things you want to understand. For example, if I live in a community and I realize that people come more for physical injury, then I make a plan for that. This is what you do as data analyst. System analyst, of course, find a way. For example, there are patient management system that manages data of patients in an hospital. So what happened in this case is that sometimes an hospital wants to find a way, how do I improve the database management system for my patient, right? In such a way that I can understand when they have to visit the hospital, I can understand their record, I can see patterns, I'm able to serve them well, I can plan for them before they visit my hospital. These are the things that healthcare system analysts look into. And the role is endless, right? For example, what do you try to do as a business intelligence analyst? You try to find a way for a business to make strategic decisions. For example, maybe an hospital is in a particular locality, right? Can they expand to another location? Does it make financial sense or not? Do we need to double our staff? Do we need to maybe make our staff 1x, 1.5x versus the number that we have currently? The choice is now based on data that you look out for. This, for example, are the little example that you find BA. These are the things that they do in the health sector. By the way, this is not done. Let's move on to retail. Yeah, this is getting interesting, right? People don't know, people are not aware. People think BA is all about the career title as a business analyst. People think business analysis is what they think they know. No, business analysis is not about the title. It's about the job that you do. And in retail, you see business analysts working as a sales analyst. As you can see, based on what you have seen earlier, they try to analyze the sales analysis. They look at sales data. They try to understand trend and consumer behavior in such a way that they can find opportunities to increase the company's revenue, right? And also helping the company to define new sales strategy. Example of his pricing analyst, inventory analyst is, how much more should we keep in our inventory? Because inventory today is a loss. Why should a company keep high inventory? Inventory is the cash of a shareholder that you are tying down. For example, maybe I'm selling phones. Imagine that that company has to keep 1,000 phones for an order, right? A business analyst helps that company to look at the historical record and look at how many phones do our customers buy per time. If the number maximum per time that the customer buys is just not more than 400 in a particular month, the question is, why do I have to keep 1,000 phone units in my inventory? That is a capital you are tying down, and that is a loss to the business. Now, this BA can say, okay, based on the data trend, the maximum order we have ever had per time is 450. So can we keep like 10% of that, which is like 45? The BA can say, can we keep maximum of 500 pieces of this phone in our store instead of keeping 1,000? What happened is that this BA has helped this company to reduce their inventory level by half. That is extremely good value for money, right? That's a very big savings for that company. Now, let's go to the last part of this, yeah, which is the role of a BA in consulting, yeah. If you talk about the one in the IT sector, the list is endless of BA roles in several areas. BA in consulting, you see people who are consultants. Yeah. Consultant has the mind and the heart of a business analyst. Why? Consultant helps you in improving your process as process improvement analyst. For example, a company hires a consultant to help them to improve their manufacturing processes, to take away losses and improve efficiency. That is the job of a BA. Second one is that a company is trying to find a new strategy. Maybe they're trying to find a way to develop a new market trend. They're trying to understand market trend, yeah, and they're trying to find a way to understand what is the current landscape, what is the customer behavior, how do we make a decision for the next level. That is the job of a BA in a consulting environment. The last part for me that I find very interesting, and this is the list talked about in terms of BA roles, and I will spend a bit of time on this one, and please pay attention to this. If you go on LinkedIn today and you type this role, go on LinkedIn, go to the search button and just type change manager or transformation lead. You will realize that there are several roles for change manager. The question is, what are people that fill up these roles? They are business analysts. They are business analysts that has people competence. What do they do? Business analysts that are change manager, they help companies to navigate organization changes, to navigate transformation. Let me give an example to that. Maybe a company is currently fully remote and the company is trying to transit to become an hybrid company. That is a change because it has an impact on the employee, it has an impact on the process. Maybe a company today is trying to use a platform for their enterprise resource planning, and the company is trying to transit from that particular platform to a new platform. That is a change. You need a change manager to get into this. And what do you do as a change manager? Number one, you try to assess the change impact. How does this change affect employees? How does it affect the function? How does it affect technology? How does it affect information? How does it affect our system? How does it affect our people? We want to assess the impact of this change on several of all these things. And secondly, we want to develop a change management plan on how are we going to manage this change going forward. The third part is that as a BA, you want to assess how do we communicate to employees, how do we communicate to stakeholders, how do we communicate to the whole organization for them to understand the change we're executing and the impact of this change to them. And guess what? What is the last one? The last one that is most forgotten as change manager is this. Yes, change is good, change is fine, change is fantastic, but guess what? How do you assess that the organization is ready? We call it impact readiness. How are we so sure that yes, we have good idea, we have good plans? How do we get confirmed that the organization is ready for the execution of the change? So we conduct an impact readiness to check that the organization is ready for that change. Guess what? This particular part, right, of a BA is extremely important, and we try to spend a lot of time on this in our BA school. So guys, you can see in the real sense of it why BA is very interesting, and BA is just that role that makes a lot of difference, like in several organizations. I'm sure there's several things that will be in your mind in terms of what BA really does in the essence of it. And the last part I would just like to show you, maybe I just want to bring this one up for you because you might also find this very interesting, and it is a BA role in IT. Yeah, we talk about IT today. You could see this ad. It is intentional that I try to talk about BA role in other sector, and I'm talking about the BA role in the IT sector as the last option here. So BA in IT sector, it's limitless. And if you go online today, you're looking for BA roles, you'll see that BA role in IT sector has like the maximum number, particularly in terms of the title, not just in terms of the roles that the person does, but in terms of the title as a BA. Now, BA in IT sector can be IT system analyst, which improves systems, right, that companies are trying to work on. It could be business intelligence analyst, you could be IT project analyst working on a project, it could be cybersecurity analyst, you could be IT business process analyst, which means you try to improve the processes for a particular business. Like I tried to give some example into that in the last few minutes, which I've talked about this. You can see in the real sense of it why BA is extremely very important. You can see why BA is that pivotal role that you see in every kind of business. And this is the reason why you've chosen the right course, you've chosen the right career path, you've chosen the right place to be. And watching this video is giving you everything that you need to know about this. Remember what I told you earlier. We are People Amp, yeah? And we offer BA Bootcamp. We offer BA Bootcamp, and BA Bootcamp covers all these things. Yeah, we prepare you for this market. Yeah, when you're done with our school, what happens is that you will learn and become the best in class and sought after BA in the market. Go online, go to our page, peoplearm.io. It's going to be on your screen. Go there, enroll in our course. We have courses running on a monthly basis, and our course runs for like a 2-month period, between 6 weeks to 8 weeks period, and it involves intensive project, which means you're going to have your hands-on into that project. You're going to be part of a community, be part of the best-in-class instructor. You're going to put your hands on onto job. We prepare you for the job market. We haste you for interview, and we give you after-job support, which means when you get to the industry, you start doing your job, you always come for coaching service. So we offer a monthly clinic, a bi-weekly clinic, whereby all the BAs come together, we have a conversation, you share the need that you have, and we are able to support you. Nobody offers this anywhere, yeah? And that is the support that we give in People Amp, because our job is to help you to live that life without boundaries, to do your job, love your job, grow your career, make good money, and go out there and do lot of stuff out there. So once again, it's People Amp, yeah? Go to our page, go to our Instagram handle or Twitter handle is We Are People Amp. That's our Twitter handle. And follow us right away. Subscribe to this channel, click that button, and be part of this success story. I'm sure you're learning a lot from this particular video, and there are a lot more for you. It's going to take you from ground up. That if you have zero experience, you're just starting your career, this is just a place to be. You're going to be learning a lot of stuff. There's no fluff being shared here. It's all about deep insight, simple stuff that are going to help you to grow your career. So as you can see, there are a lot of functions that we actually perform in several industries, where I talk about finance, marketing, and consulting, in technology, in different kind of sector, even insurance sector. You see BA at the heart of several things. Remember I told you about the role of a BA as a change manager that is least talked about out there. So go out there, try to explore, and you'll see that you find BA across all this kind of industry. And there's something I want you to take note of here. And you can see, does it appear to you like your past experiences, they're like a great value add to your business analysis career? Does it look like it? If you check what we've talked about so far in terms of what BA does in several industries, because I get this question every time from several people who have done several roles before. Maybe you have done different kind of roles, maybe in finance, in marketing, in HR, in insurance, in manufacturing, in telecom sector. You've done this role maybe as a business leader, as a business manager, digital marketing lead in different sector, and you ask yourself a question, coming to BA, does it look like I'm starting from afresh? The answer to you here is this. Yes, you're correct. Your past experiences, they are very great value add to your business analysis career. That is the interesting thing about the BA career. And that is one thing I like to give to you as big news. Yes, you're 100% very correct. And everyone seems to have used BA in their daily work in one way or the other. I'm sure that one of those things I've mentioned you've partaken in such kind of role before in different kind of industry that you find yourself. So this is good news to you. You are on the right path on your career. And People Amp is here to help you to achieve your dream. Yeah? And these are the things that we bring to you that's going to help you to take you from where you are currently to where you are going to. Remember, once again, please click the like button, the subscribe button, and hit that bell so that you can get more information from us as we bring you lots of information out there. Thank you very much for watching this so far. This is our first episode of this. There are subsequent episodes that will be coming up after this, where I'll be talking about some other stuff that you really want to know. What does BA earn? What are the salary ranges of a BA out there? That comes up in the next session. The next one is, who is a BA? What exactly is the definition of a BA? You'll see that in the next slide. And what are the roles? What are the 10 roles? I call them the 10 pillars. Like, those are the roles that BA, actually what they do on a daily basis, and people do them in one way or the other in different kind of sector. They put more focus on one area more than the other, but these are the 10 most common roles of a BA. And the last two is, I talked about the sacrifices. There are these sacrifices that everybody wants to be a BA, you want to get a job out there, you want to start your career from the scratch as a BA, and you want to build yourself together. What are the 6 sacrifices that you need to pay to become the best for BA out there? And the last part is, what are the top certification in the world that you can get yourself into to prove yourself in the market that you have some good experiences as BA in the marketplace. So guys, thank you very much for listening, and please look forward for the next episode. And if you can, watch other videos which I've talked about, like in CV writing, I've talked about the reasons why you need to fail. You can see them on the playlist here. So guys, thank you very much for watching. It's a pleasure having you here, and I'm so excited to take you on this journey to become the best and sought after business analyst. This is what we do on a daily basis, and I'm so excited and announce to you that we run our BA bootcamp every other month. Don't miss out the next one. Go to our page, peopleamp.io, and you'll see our bootcamp there. We have a bootcamp running for business analysts where we teach you from ground up. You don't need any prior experiences. As a business analyst, we will teach you from ground up. Thank you once again. My name is Ola Diamond. I'm called a strategist because I help individuals and businesses to live the kind of life they want to live. I help you to move from here and move you there. And that is why we say in People Amp that your dreams are valid. And we say finally that live a life of limitless possibilities. Thank you very much. Until I see you again, stay on this page and meet me at the top, because this is where I am going to be. Thank you very much. Have a lovely day.